and now it says go. So I'm going to give you a quick presentation on how to do some engaging videos, depending on whether you're using just the webcam, if you're using the webcam and the screen, or just the screen. So again, the key here is we really want to engage people. And to do that, one of the key things you're going to do, especially if you're only using yourself, is to be active. Okay? And that's why I got this little running man here. I want you to be active on the screen. It's like if you've ever done theater or you've watched a play. If the actor doesn't going to go over the top, you can't tell from the audience, right? So it's the same thing on camera. Go a little bit over the top. Just not too much, but a little bit over the top is a good thing. It actually provides a little more energy to your video, a little more passion. We have a tendency, if you're not used to being on camera, to kind of be very kind of monotone, very stale, very boring. So be active. Plan yourself an opportunity to be active. Second point I want to make about this is, I put a mirror here because I want you to be you. Doesn't have to be perfect. The videos don't have to be perfect. That's the biggest mistake people make when they try to create online videos. They want it to be perfect. They want this amazing production value. The reality is your students will appreciate it more if they feel like they connect to you. That is probably the biggest benefit that you will get out of creating videos, is your students will feel a connection, especially in an online class where it's so easy to feel disconnected because I don't see people. I don't feel that presence. Don't pick up those nonverbal cues and that emotional component. The video allows you to do that, but only if you're you. If you pretend, if you try to be so perfect that it doesn't come across as you, it's not going to benefit. The students aren't going to get that benefit. They're going to feel cold. They're not going to feel that connection. So if you make little mistakes, that's okay. I mean, if you make a huge mistake, and you say the wrong thing, then feel free to redo it. But don't feel like it has to be perfect. Be you. Okay? So to engage, as I said before, we want to be active, and you want to be you, especially when you're doing the video things. One other little mini thing you can do with videos, then there's actually research around this, and I could share with you if you're interested. But people find those on online videos who show their hands to be more trustworthy, and they're more confident in those people based on this research. So it's a little minor thing, but if you can find a way to say, hey, here's 2 things I want to teach you, and I hold up 2 fingers and I say number 1, and I point out the number 1, I'm using my hands, I'm creating that environment where they're going to feel more and more connected to me. Very simple things. Be active, be you, find ways to use your hands. Now, if you're going to use more of the screen itself, and maybe it's using a PowerPoint, maybe it's using a Prezi, maybe it's using something else, but whatever you want to show on your screen, I would encourage you to do a couple of things. One is focused on the visuals. So I just want you to all think for a second. I'm going to take a quick 2-second break here. I want you to think of an apple. Now my guess is that when I said think of an apple, in your mind's eye, you pictured an apple. You didn't picture the word apple or the letters apple, you thought of pictures. And honestly, that's how our brains work. We tend to see things in images. Online learning, it's easier to put things into text because it allows me to get the message across that I want to get across. Images can have different meanings to people, right? But the words, that limits the misinterpretation. Limits it. It's still possible, but it limits it. But visuals are something that can be much more powerful from a learning standpoint. And when you're creating videos, again, that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just create a screen full of words that you read off to them. You want to create visuals that allow them to connect with whatever concept, idea, term you're trying to present. Or maybe it's, the image of week 1, this is what we're going to do, and you pull up the image of Canvas and work from that. But there's a lot of different ways, but focus on, what kind of image is going to be most interesting and most useful for them. And then you want to deconstruct that image. So we have this Lego guy slowly being deconstructed here in this image here. So one thing I do when I'm showing a video of maybe a difficult concept, because that's one way you can use videos. It could be like a weekly overview like I mentioned. Another way could be, hey, there's this concept everybody struggles with. And I'll show you some examples in a little bit. But if I'm trying to teach a difficult concept, I might just put up an image or a diagram of that concept and talk about it. And I can move my cursor around to say, first we take off the guy's hat, then we take off his hair, and then we take off his, and I can talk about the deconstruction here and pull apart the concept through this message. Okay? So Again, key points that I want you to get to help create more engaging videos. 1, be active. Be a little bit over the top, right? 2, be you. 3, within the individual one, feel free to use your hands a little bit. 4, create visuals if you're using the screen itself. Don't just have more words. Words are okay, but it shouldn't be just words. Create something visual there to connect with them and to engage them. And then use those visuals to kind of deconstruct those visuals to really explain these concepts. So they're not just there for fun, but they're actually there to help you learn. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop this recording.